Pretty loud. Johnny, my boy.
Hey, what's up, Matt?
Happy Halving Day, my friend.
Happy Halving Day. Hey, Erica.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we are live right now.
Are we live streaming or just us?
Yes, sir. We are live.
Oh, all right.
Welcome, everybody, to a special emergency broadcast of the Blockchain Center. Today is the day we've all been waiting for.
Seriously.
The halving.
Is anything going to actually happen? Let's see.
It's happening. 4 blocks. 4 blocks.
4 blocks.
My goodness gracious. What up, Pravi?
40 minutes?
It should be 40 minutes, but because there's so many miners overclocked right now, it's probably going to be quicker than 40 minutes.
Good point.
I think the original estimate, it was supposed to be like sometime tonight, later on tonight, but we might have it before 3:30 Eastern time, I'm thinking.
Okay.
What are your thoughts, man, on the pretty brutal pump and dump over the past few days?
Everyone's been calling it. I think, it's been brutal. It's been an emotional roller coaster, as is everything Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Facts. I mean, to be honest, I thought we would pump a little higher before the inevitable come down back to reality, but I mean, I guess it makes sense. 10K is such a psychological barrier, man, to get over.
It's coming, though. This is really more, I believe, instead of just the price, we should be celebrating the surviving and the thriving of Bitcoin. I mean, Absolutely. We're coming in on 11 years. This is really, a monumental event. All the naysayers from back in the day, they're eating it right now with their stocks and bonds. And and I've heard a lot of people, like older people, boomers, older people just talking about Bitcoin and like, this makes sense. It just needs, they're waiting for the signal from, I guess, a proper authority, but they get it. They're already starting to dip their toes in.
For sure.
Well, gosh, man, I got this beer out to toast for the halving. I thought it was a little sooner.
Hey,
warm.
The drink's flowing. No, there's 4 blocks left, man. This is like
miners.
Any second, but absolutely. I mean, I know it's so easy to get caught up in the price, especially when we're rocketing, from 6.8 to back to 5-figure Bitcoin. But really, this has only happened twice previously in Bitcoin's 11-year history. This is only the 3rd halving ever. And, despite how many Bitcoin obituaries there may be, how many times Bitcoin has died, we're still here, block after block, every 10 minutes, still coming out, pushing forward,
Absolutely.
The Fed cannot manipulate this. This is written in Bitcoin's code. JPOW cannot manipulate this. The Fed cannot manipulate this. It's the most sound money there is. And now, I don't think we'll be exactly at the stock to flow ratio that gold has, but after this halving coming up in a few minutes, I think we'll be very, very close to gold stock to flow ratio. So that's just another.
Would you like to explain to people out there just simply what stock to flow is? Maybe
Sure.
To people that don't understand, like myself, I don't really know what that means.
Yep, it's just the ratio of the new Bitcoins that are issued daily, every 10 minutes, to the existing supply. So Right now, for another 4 blocks, there's 12.5 Bitcoin being mined every 10 minutes. So the previous new supply added daily was 1,800 Bitcoins. Within a few minutes here, that's going to be cut in half to only 6.25 every 10 minutes. So instead of 1,800 new Bitcoins being mined daily, it will be cut in half to only 900 new Bitcoins being mined daily. Let me pull up the beautiful stock to flow chart here.
And just to ask, so comparing it to gold, that's meaning how much gold is being pulled out of the ground every day compared
to existing global reserves. Yeah, so it looks like this site is down right now, but this is a 1 in 21 million club is an awesome website for checking the stock to flow chart. I guess it's down right now, but yeah, I mean, Johnny, what do you think? Are you a big believer in the stock to flow model? Do you think it's bullshit? Do you think it's overhyped?
Well, I can't say too much. I just learned understood the expression 30 seconds ago. But based on what you're saying, yeah, I think it's overhyped simply because we kind of get in a bubble in the sense that it's all about inflation. And that's really what's kicking it. This coronavirus just, what's the expression, burr. And people are getting money out of nowhere. Like, it's ridiculous without really getting into the philosophy of it. But the end of the day, yes, there's now less Bitcoin being produced every day. And there's all kinds of dollars just getting tossed around every day. So, yeah. Stock to flow for sure.
Did everybody here get their Trump bucks?
I did.
Trump bucks.
I did not.
I did. What are you going to spend your Trump bucks on?
Bitcoin.
Matt, of course.
I'm waiting for more of a dip, man. I think we're going below 8,000. I mean, I hope I'm wrong, but
I hope you're right, so I can pick up a little more.
Exactly.
And and to be fair, unless you really need to sell, just like when someone jumps, they got to bend down to jump up. And I think that's what this will be. I personally could see 5, like us hitting 5 around there and then bam. Because I don't know, I've heard people talk about futures contracts and things like that, but yeah, I mean, it's also wishful thinking. I have a couple buy orders in. I typically go like 20% like ladders. Like it's going to go down this much and it's going to go down that much to kind of ladder in and out, instead of trying to pick an exact price.
Right. I got you. I mean, anything's possible, dude. These last few dumps were pretty violent in the amount of time it actually took to dump. Seeing 4-figure price drops in a matter of minutes. So,
oh no, I saw people strong hands became weak hands. I started to panic. Like, oh man, the pandemic freaked me out. At one point, a month and a half ago, I was like, oh no, the bodies are going to pile up in the streets, and got scared. Like, I don't want to get too much into that because what do I know? Except stock to flow is getting cut in half. And that's all that matters.
I do think the bodies are going to pile up in the streets, though. Bitcoin's our only savior right now.
Probably so. Maybe from a different cause.
Yeah.
But yeah.
The food shortages that are happening. But right now what's happening in Iran is they're kind of tired of their hyperinflation. Here, I'll have to read the latest. Definitely the fact that every country is going through like currency debasement right now is something that, I mean, it helps the price, but the price isn't everything.
Yeah, no, on a serious note, you're absolutely right. I mean, I know in Lebanon, they had cops at all the banks because people were trying to get their money out. You know, there were bank runs. The price of Bitcoin in Lebanon, I heard on like local Bitcoins was like double the price on spot markets.
Yeah. Let me look at
And that's probably a repeating theme around the world.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I've never actually here in Washington, because I'm back in Washington. I definitely have never seen cops at every single bank, but every single bank has a cop outside of it now. Or at least like some level of security guard, just like flexing whatever they have. Let's see.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But
no, Bitcoin really is, a tool to protect yourself, your loved ones, your community for what's coming ahead. Like seriously, I think this is important work, spreading the word,
So
and try to lead by example. Like I said, try not to, I don't know, buy into the bullshit.
Yeah.
All right, can we say that on this channel?
Yeah, you can say whatever you want, Johnny.
All right, good deal.
So here's the article. Iran ditches rial in hyperinflation crisis. Bitcoin demand rises. Iran is set to redominate its fiat currency, removing 4 zeros to create a new fiat called Toman, as demand for crypto is surging. Each Toman will be worth 10,000 rials. So we have a new currency being made in Iran, and people are using crypto, and that's a great, because obviously there is.
And I believe it's legal in Iran, like the government mines,
It's called, what is it called? It's like Sharia compliant. So it's like religiously legal, first of all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I guess it doesn't take advantage of others. I'm not really sure how that works.
It basically means that you don't, you can't
you don't like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what makes things Sharia compliant. But then you have to have some like authority saying it is. Hello, Art. Welcome.
Looks like you're muted, Art.
And we can't see you too. Art likes to be anonymous though, so.
That's all right. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this is beautiful too, because like in Iran, you can't, I mean, they have such capital controls, like you can't get money in and out of that country, but obviously you can with Bitcoin. So it's good stuff.
Yeah.
Let's see if Sam's going to join us.
Ooh, I like your screensaver.
Oh, this thing. Oh, yeah. Always airplanes, man, for me.
Well, we're taking off. That's very appropriate.
Exactly. Where are you, Johnny?
I am in Virginia for the moment. I will be heading back to Miami in a couple weeks, and I'm looking forward to it. I imagine, it's funny. I always feel like this lockdown's about to end, but when I get out, like, and go to the grocery store, I realize a lot of people don't want it to end. Probably for several reasons. Fear, but also the incentive mechanism. Obviously, like, why would you want to go work when you make
more money on employment?
Yeah, exactly. And you better put that money into Bitcoin and maybe some precious metals.
Yeah.
And probably some Tide and some canned food. Erica and I were at Anarchapulco, if we're allowed to say that, and it was so appropriate. The stuff I heard there, it was just shocking how much of it came true and so fast.
Yeah, seriously. Especially when, like, with the prediction to where they're going to be forcing adults to get vaccines. Yeah, that one.
Yeah, that shook me there.
Yeah.
And it was just like, wow, the guy was so spot on. Like, Bitcoin, I don't know about others, but it's going to help my exit from this system. Maybe help, get with like-minded people to build a better system, or I don't know what to call it. I mean, I don't know. I'm just kind of riffing here, but I see Bitcoin as a tool. It's not the end in itself. It is a tool for liberty, to free us,
Exactly. Because, like, what's the other option? We're chaining ourselves to a currency where it's like, some people are excited I have coronavirus, by the way. Just kidding.
Well, congratulations. You get your passport in a couple weeks.
What do you mean?
It means you get your coronavirus passport and you can go around in immunity.
Immunity.
That's just the thought.
I don't know. I don't want to get on any list though that says like I have antibodies, because then they're going to be like, oh, let's take her blood. She has antibodies. It's her civil duty to give us her blood. It's going to be weird. Okay.
That's a creepy thought, but
I know. And then
truth be told is, the tracking apps. I mean, a lot of people I know in crypto devs, they're working on stuff like this.
Exactly.
It's quite. I heard you say this maybe a year back, and I never thought of it because I didn't grow up in a religious household at all. Mm-hmm. And you say, you were scared of Bitcoin at first because you thought it was the mark of the beast or number of the beast or something of that nature. And I kind of heard that again. I looked into it and saw it, read it, and I was like, oh, I get how you could think Bitcoin would be this, but it's not. But I see how other cryptos kind of are, and happily proud to be like a tracking mechanism, privacy, and they have very good intentions. Like I said, a lot of guys I know are working on, supply chain and identity, all about identity. I don't know.
So on that topic,
Erica?
Yeah, for sure. On that topic, Johnny, you're right. I mean, I've been saying this it's one of the reasons I think why I'm into crypto is just because I know that this is the way that the world is moving. And it's do you try to fight it or do you capitalize on it and make sure that you're an authority in the space? Because it is going to be a blockchain technology. It's not going to be Bitcoin because nobody can force you to have Bitcoin, obviously. And Bitcoin is not owned by anybody. Cool. Whatever it is, it's going to be a permission blockchain that is this. But what's interesting is, I don't know if you've seen this, maybe you have, but Microsoft has a patent. It's actually patent 2020-060606. 666, man. You can't make this shit up. And the patent is a cryptocurrency system that there's something on your body. It could be a watch. They didn't say it's into your body, but it detects your body and your brain functions, and it rewards you in cryptocurrency for doing certain tasks.
Like a body wallet of sorts.
Yeah, here, no, I'll show you right now. Microsoft patent 2020-060606. And yeah, I mean, in the Bible, it says that the mark of the beast will be the number 666. So it's just I don't know, they're hiding it in plain sight. I'm going to share my screen, Matt. Or here, let me pull it up behind me.
You can share your screen.
Oh, cool. Okay. Here, no, I'll just, you can't, nobody can really see this. I'll share my screen. I actually had a presentation to a bunch of expats, and this is what I showed them. Well, I just included it. I didn't get all weird about it, but this is, look, this is patent scope.
No, I mean, it's a real patent.
Exactly. It's a real patent right here. We have.
It was at the top. I saw what you're saying, the number.
The applicant, Microsoft Technology. Here's the abstract. Human body activity associated with a task provided to a user may be used in a mining process of a cryptocurrency system. A server may provide a task to a device of a user, which is communicatively coupled to the server. A sensor, blah, 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 whatever. An award cryptocurrency to the user whose body activity data is verified. Here we go, guys.
It could be that tech's already out there.
Yeah, exactly. It could be an Apple Watch, right? But then
it doesn't have to even be it could be stuff people already have, your Fitbit.
Yeah, it could be that. But whatever it is, it's going to be some cryptocurrency system that uses your body activity data as mining. In terms of what is written to happen, you can't buy, sell, or trade unless you have this device, unless you have this mark. And so people are going to be shut out from the system. And then you think about it and it's what they're pushing for right now is if you don't have a vaccine, you're not going to be able to participate, right? You're not going to be able to fly. Bill Gates is already talking about it, publicly. I think he had a really live interview with the the guy who is the CEO and the creator of TED Talks, and it was online, and you can see everything.
I saw it, and that wasn't live, by the way.
Or no, it wasn't.
That video again. They edited it. It's
wow.
very well done. Where Bill Gates' words, like he fades out. It's very well done, but they edited that. That's polished. It's propaganda, is what that was.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and the Global ID 2020, like they've been planning this for
ever,
like a decade.
Yeah.
Actually, we all in Americans, we have to have a real ID. I don't, when you go to the DMV to get your driver's license, it say real ID by 2021.
That's what they say in the. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's been out there for 12 years. And it's like this crazy, like you needed to fly, you needed to get into public buildings, all this stuff. And I remember seeing it a decade ago and go, oh, that's 12 years away. Who cares? Yeah, that's fucked up. But hey, it's 12 years away because they know how people are. We don't really, unless it affects us now, we're like, oh, 12 years, that's a lifetime away, in our mind.
Yeah. And that's
so it's like in plain sight what they're doing. And, we just kind of walk right into it.
That's kind of what they bet on too, is that people are not really paying attention, right? Even this whole like patent 666 thing, or even the message that was shown with Bill Gates and the creator of TED Talks. It's like people really aren't paying attention. So that's what they bet on. It's where they do everything in plain sight. It's like they're mocking us. And then if you are somebody that questions what's mainstream, they get everyone else who I consider kind of like low IQ people to tell you that you're crazy, and then you just stop talking about it.
I don't know if they're low IQ, but they're your fellow citizens. That's like the scary part, like I've been drawing and painting like dystopian futures, but all of a sudden, it happened. Like a authoritarian state kind of happened all around us, and people begged for it. They didn't have to like force it on anybody. People asked for it. Now I think people hopefully are going to get fed up. And hopefully the dollar they use to apply this system starts to crumble faster. Back to Bitcoin. You know what I mean? Like, it is a tool.
Yeah.
It is a tool for sure.
A tool created for this time.
Huh?
A tool created for this time, for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah. Any thoughts on that, Matt? Maybe time travel brought this back to us because they saw a dystopian future, and Arnold Schwarzenegger came back from the future with Bitcoin.
Go down the little Baron Trump. You ever hear about the books back in like the late 1800s were written? The last president, and I forget what the name of the other one was, but basically the main character named Baron Trump is like a time traveling person. He's got a dog, looks like eerily similar to Trump's actual son, Baron Trump, but the suspect part is, not to get too off topic here from the halving, but the actual person who removed Tesla's plans and paperwork from Tesla's safe when he died in New York City, it was Donald Trump's uncle. So
really,
I have heard that. Yeah,
we could be in a crazy little time traveling situation here. Now, what was the question? Do I think Rona is related to the time travel?
No, but if you feel you'd like to, examine that thought, go ahead.
No, I'm honestly so sick of talking about Corona. I don't even want to go down that path, and I'm too excited for the halving, so I'm not even gonna let anything emotionally detract from that. But no. Definitely some possibilities, man. Could be the world could have ended in 2012. This could all be a simulation. Time travel could be real. Are the aliens real? Is it just Project Bluebeam? Is it just fucking holograms? I don't know. We could save that we could have a whole special on that, but
every Thursday we could do it.
Every Thursday we could do a special on that. But
so do you think the price is going to go up immediately after the halving? Because I think it's going to dump immediately after the halving.
We've dumped so much already, though. But
we're still higher than than the 30. What was the 3,800 that we hit? PVG
So
back then when Rona came in first.
Let me get the charts up here on the other computer. 1 second.
Yeah, I think we're gonna dump while he's doing that. I mean, I think because there's also the USD Tether printing machine that's kind of inflating the price as well, and they're printing that on Tron now, which is like, I don't know, but word on the street is it's a kind of a shady blockchain. Yeah. Oh, is that what do we have here?
I can type. Just give me freaking Coinbase, man.
Coinbase Pro. That's how you know it's going to pump.
I'll take freaking.
It's because Coinbase goes down.
Did you say Coinbase is down?
No, let me check my app.
Coinbase went down a bunch of times, though.
It's like Coinbase and Gemini. If they go down, like every time the price is crazy, they're down for maintenance.
Oh yes. Also, when the price goes up quickly as well.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So how many blocks are we away now?
So we are. Let's see.
I think still
15 minutes is what my clock says, my little timer behind me. Let me zoom in.
3 blocks, still 3 blocks to go.
Good. So at least all right.
I mean, let's see what happens. I am expecting a drop because it's like what, buy the rumor, sell the news. A lot of people think that the halving is gonna just immediately pump because of decreased production, which it makes sense, but that doesn't take into account all of the Bitcoins that are already in existence. It doesn't take into account the fact that there are so many people that don't even know that this is happening that own Bitcoin. So yeah, I don't think it's going to be that much of a difference, but I mean, I'm excited for the long term. Obviously long term, this is a good thing, but I just don't think we're going to see the effects of it right away.
So yeah, and I really think, focusing on the price is not. I mean, we should focus more on Bitcoin made it. This is because we are all old heads. We've been in this for years and heard just the naysayers. From rat poison to a Ponzi scheme to a pump and dump, you name it. We got called it. We were laughed at, ridiculed, but we're still here. And around the world, currencies are falling. Fiat currencies are falling. Yeah, the dollar will be the last one to fall because they're going to it because the Pentagon, but it's still, what's the expression? Yeah, the dollar is the best of the fiat currencies, but it's like the prettiest waitress in Waffle House. Big deal.
That's a good one, Johnny.
So yeah, here's the Bitcoin making it, to the third halving.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Let's go.
I got the Froze Rosé, so
cheers.
Bang, sponsor us. See, yours says 28 minutes. Mine says 13 minutes. I'm on bitcoinblockhalf.com.
I'm good. I'll take a shot at the actual halving. Let me get some more. I'll pull up some more estimators for you guys. Be right.
Yeah, if only we could have a party right now. We were gonna have a party today.
Yeah. Oh, I just realized we have the comments on the sides.
Yeah. So let's see who's chit chatting. My friend Lynn Carey. I want her to join us. But
looks like she did.
She did.
Oh, she said cheers.
Yeah,
thanks, Lynn Carey.
She's great. Actually, she is a her and I have been talking a lot lately because she is a holistic doctor. She has her own healing practice for chiropractor stuff. Just talking about medical stuff and how viruses actually work. But Lynn, if you're watching still, I sent you the the link to be able to join this live stream and like show your face on camera. If anybody here, especially you, Steve, if you want to join the live stream, let me know and I'll DM it to you. Bitcoin dumping 8,450 right now. Okay, so for anybody that's ever experienced like a fork or, just any change in coins, you'll notice, especially especially forks on altcoins, what will happen is like right before the fork is going to happen, either the price will dump immediately after people get their forked coins, or it'll dump right before because they don't even care about the forked coins. They just want that price action because of the news. That's like what has always happened.
So you're saying you're expecting a mega dump within, like, at the actual moment of the physical block reward being cut in half?
Maybe not mega, but 7K maybe. Yeah, I could see that.
I could definitely see a quick dip, another quick $1,000 dip to like 7.8, 7.6.
Yeah.
We have such a small market cap
mm-hmm.
that, the whales, and I mean the big whales, like what's his name? John Tudor Jones? Or I forget his name. John Paul Jones Tudor? I don't know.
Peter Schiff was just tweeting about him today, right? About like 1%. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Tudor.
Yeah, no, he's a big time. Like he's always gets quoted, and yeah, he was talking about Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was the big news last week, right? Was that he was saying he's including it in his portfolio. Now, I don't know if it's physical Bitcoin. I think it might just be futures, exposure to futures contracts, but still good to see, a big investor like that from the traditional investing world, recognizing the importance of having some exposure to Bitcoin.
And for people that don't understand what the halving is, oh my god! For people that don't understand what the halving is, basically, the way the economics of Bitcoin works is that and the only way we can really compare it to is gold, right? It's people finding gold. Now with gold, it's kind of random. You have to get lucky. You have to be able to find gold. With Bitcoin, it's very much written in economics of it to where it's produced. We know that every block that's mined, about roughly average every 10 minutes. Right now, the person that wins that block, the computer that solves that algorithm, that math problem the fastest, it's 12 Bitcoin right now, Johnny. 12.5, I think, is the number.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. And so in 9 minutes or whatever, whenever this block happens, which is probably from between 9 minutes and an hour from now, the reward that whichever miner solves this math problem the fastest, the reward they're going to get is cut in half. So that does a couple things, right? One way that you can think about it is as if in the gold rush, you still have the same demand for gold, but the supply gets immediately cut in half. Let's say half of the people that are mining for gold. Yeah, so we go 19 minutes away, and according to this calculator, according to my calculator, we're 8 minutes away. But this is
just found a new one.
Well, they dropped the Apple in New York for New Year's. Is the blockchain center dropping anything in Miami?
We would, but we're
about a
shut down
to Corona. Off the balcony?
That's a good idea. It's a really good idea. Drop some wine bottles. What are you getting over here? Oh yeah, but yeah. So
yeah, an interesting thing you're saying, Erica, about all the miners no longer making as much profit.
Mm-hmm.
Some miners with older equipment are no longer going to be profitable at all.
Exactly.
So the question is, where does that lead outside of Bitcoin, my man Garrett? So we see
Garrett's popping bottles. Garrett, if you mess up the studio, I'm gonna be so mad at you. Stop.
Yo, this is what the fucking landlord wants.
Shut up. We're on live stream. Stop saying that right now.
Mr. Mana, if you're listening, this is what I received in the phone call this morning from your associates.
Anyways, last two blocks. But no, yeah, you're right. You're right, Johnny, is that like some of the people that have been mining. So and this is also the beauty of the economics of Bitcoin, right? Is that if you get into mining, you already know that roughly every 4 years, your reward is going to be cut in half, meaning that you have to innovate to keep your costs low, which is mostly energy, which one incentivizes green energy production. So you're like, how can you make yourself more efficient? People are now incentivized to figure out how to use like stuff that's just less expensive, aka solar panels, whatever it is, nuclear energy. And then also it's like what you said, like, what is it? What is the new miners that everyone has to use now that's coming out of Bitmain? And then
some sort of ASIC miner.
Yeah, something. But it's like miners are becoming obsolete. Like we have miners in the center that are now just like no longer usable.
Well, Erica, what the other part of that is in the greater chain space, those miners are now going to be used for other chains, for other proof of work chains. So there's going to be a dump of hash power, I don't know, on Litecoin or some of these other coins. Do you know what I'm saying? Like that equipment will still may be useful. I mean, I'm not a miner. They can correct me if I'm wrong, but that's typically, they want to use that equipment for other things. I don't want to say the hand-me-down chains or whatever you want to call them, but I'd be curious to know if that's a plus or a minus to those other chains.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Probably a plus for sure.
Well, we got some comments here.
Garrett, get back behind the curtain. Oh my God. Yeah, Garrett, go behind.
Sorry about that, guys. Had some live interference.
No worries.
Yeah, they let Garrett out of his cage. Back into the Dick Cheney.
2 blocks to go, guys. 2 blocks to go. You're witnessing history live. I don't think people understand the gravity of the situation.
Tell them the gravity of the situation, Matt.
The gravity of the situation is this is only the 3rd halving in Bitcoin's 11-year history.
11-year history. We've made 11 years?
We've made it 11 years, dude.
How many more years than Peter Schiff thought? Like 11?
11. 11 more years than Peter Schiff thought.
Because, Peter Schiff don't know shit.
Peter, if you're watching this, that's for you, buddy. That's for you.
If Peter Schiff is watching, he thanks Bitcoin because it's the only reason anybody talks about him or he's relevant. Because otherwise, all he's done is call fucking the gold boom and the fall of the dollar for like 20 years.
I mean, let's not even give Peter Schiff another ounce of our energy.
I agree.
He's not even.
Amen. I wonder what Vitalik's doing right now.
Vitalik, the Ether King.
Yes.
I mean, he's probably hyped, dude. He's probably happy.
Absolutely. We used to write for Bitcoin.com. I was just slightly trolling, the maximalists out there. But yeah, no, Vitalik is an old head. He did write for Bitcoin.com back in the day, like in 2011. Yeah, no, man. This is a monumental moment for crypto anarchists and cypherpunks and just everyone around.
The situation, Conrad, is that in a few minutes there will no longer be 1,800 new Bitcoins being mined every day. The situation is, after 2 blocks, there will only be approximately 900 new Bitcoins being mined every day. I want to show you a cool website, Johnny.
All right.
That actually shows how far ahead of schedule we are due to the miners right now overclocking so much just to get every last bit, of profitability. So I think we're over 50 blocks ahead of schedule right now. We're 51.28 blocks ahead. So the current pace is 105%. Right now, there should be, since the last difficulty adjustment, there should be 955 blocks. We're actually at 1,007. So the halving actually got moved up a bit because we're 51 blocks ahead of schedule.
Cool. Yeah, this is a cool site.
Yeah, I just got a bunch of cool little bookmarks I like to share with the people.
So basically, this bookmark. Are you sharing the screen yet, or I guess not?
I was sharing the screen. Did you not see it? I could put it back up.
No, I see it. I was just going to explain to everyone like listening or watching what this is. So it's basically a screen with a bunch of squares, and the squares are clear, white, and they're slowly getting filled in with like a blue color. And as they completely fill, that would mean the epoch is over. Yes, because this is here it is. It is because we're ending it. This is the end of an epoch. I want to this is a big deal. Like a new era is dawning.
Sorry, Erica. Yeah, so the difficulty actually doesn't adjust, I believe, for another 7 days. What does this say?
Isn't it like, I forget, 2 weeks or something? Let's see.
Yeah, it's every 2 weeks the difficulty adjusts. So the difficulty does not adjust when the block reward halves. But still, this is the last epoch, with the 12.5 reward. So
it's a double-digit reward.
Last double-digit reward. Oh, we got Nick in the chat. Let's go. What's up, Nick?
What's happening over here? I need a haircut.
We all do.
Join the club.
Another happening?
2 to go. 2 to go.
210,000 blocks went by so fast.
According to my clock, we're 24 seconds away, but I don't think that's accurate. Matt, what is you should pull up the other screen, the one that Johnny's talking about.
Sure.
Nick, price action. What do you think is going to happen? Do you think we're going to dump right after it happens? Do you think we're going to pump right after it happens?
I think there's so many institutional people in here that are starting to act like an institution. Where, on good news it goes down, and on people bullshitting it goes up.
Yep, buy the rumor, sell the news.
That's what the stock market does.
Yeah. I mean, the difference here is that what makes me more hopeful for price rise more than anything else is that exactly what Bitcoin was made for, which is fiat currencies failing and screwing people over. That's what's happening. That makes me more hopeful than the halving. Now, obviously, halving makes it so that way production, decreases. But in the same sense, the halving kind of worries me a little bit.
Yeah, but the proportion of the production decreasing is so minimal now. It's it's not like it used to be. I mean, when it went from 50 to 25, there weren't that many Bitcoin out there, and then when it went from 25 to 12.5, there were more Bitcoin out there than less, and it took like a year for the pop. And right now, it's going to go down to 6.5, 6.25 Bitcoin, and and there's so many more Bitcoin out there. And then you have all these Bitcoin derivatives out there that influence the price. And you got all these things influencing the price other than the Bitcoin itself like it used to.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to ask all these con artists on Wall Street what they think it's going to do, because they're the ones moving it around.
Yeah, they're the ones that have the money to move it around, right? Now that we have back then, this is the first halving that's been around where we have futures markets in place, where we have Backed in place, where we have Fidelity that has custody assets. It's the first one where we have freaking, what's it called? Cash App. You can buy Bitcoin on it. So there definitely are a lot more players in place. So we can't say it's going to react. Yeah, and we can't say it's going to react like it used to be. But right now, the Bitcoin market cap is like, what, $50 billion? Like, that's not that much still. $1 billion. Matt.
One block. Sorry, guys. Sorry.
Don't be sorry. Well, we're gonna see what happens. Can we pull up another screen, Matt? Matt, I don't want you to keep getting up and sitting down. Can someone support you in the room?
Screen you need.
It's all good.
We need to have. I want a chart up. Let's get
different screens. There's different websites, different algorithms going on. Nobody really knows.
Yeah, my calculator here, you guys can see it just reset itself to 17 minutes.
Listen, and you'll see the blocks. That's
All
still
right,
up, right? Bitcoin is still up. Here it is.
I'm pulling up the chart.
Whoa, there's a screen.
Oh, it happened?
It just happened, right? Huh?
I think so. Well, this one says yes. It just look at the blocks. The blocks is what matters. The websites don't really know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Look at the block explorer.
I'm saying for an event, this looks funny. It looks fun. There it is.
Nick, just log into Bitcoin D directly.
Here, listen. Yeah, I know. I know. But this is more visual for television. So you got here. That's it. I think it happened.
It happened. That's it.
So it happened?
I think so.
We did it. We found a double block. We did it, guys.
We did it.
And
Hey,
don't
let's
record.
Bitcoin in the world now.
That's your screen, buddy. Everyone's seeing it.
And what's happening?
Wow.
What's happening?
Where's the price? Let me just look at the price.
This one says 15 minutes, but I think the Bitcoin block half site was not a Bitcoiner. It was more like a SEO guy, I think.
Hey, we pumped a little bit. Someone pull up a chart.
So wait, do we have confirmation? The halving has halved.
Yes.
Wow, happy halving.
Pop bottles, drink some energy drinks, rose.
Wow.
All right, pull it up. Let's see what's happening.
What block are we at? 629,993.
The round number. No. 63.
Is it only this screen that's showing? If I go to a different browser?
It's just that tab. Yep. I mean, price action wise, guys, it's gonna be a nothing burger. We already blew our load with
Price,
the rally
they already like the price already. They shorted it the Bitcoin yesterday, right? Didn't they? It fell down dramatically yesterday. So
Like 18%.
first time that actually the price fell before the actual halving. So it was kind of tricky. It really tricky. The shorters, they tricked the market this time doing that yesterday. Everybody was waiting, and they actually did it a day before.
Mhm.
Well,
Selling.
yeah, we actually do that.
Yeah, I mean, we already, part of my English, guys, we already blew our load here. We pumped from 6.8K to 10,000 in a few fucking days and dumped $2,000 in minutes, from right below 10K to 8,000. I mean, we bounced off 8.1, so I guess that's a pity win.
Mhm.
But hey, if we hold above 8K, that's really all we got to do. I mean, the Corona dump was what, 8,000 to 3.8. So as long as we hold above,
63,000, 630,000. I see it here on blockchain.
Well, yes, 210,000 3 times.
Yeah.
That's 630.
Antpool got that block, the miner.
Oh yeah.
wow,
They only got 6.25 Bitcoin.
They got to go out of business now.
How are they going to pay?
What you're saying is
they pay for the electricity.
That's what they said. They said new electrical technology has to go in now that you could save money on, or else it's not profitable at all.
Yeah, so here's the worry, right? Is like, does Bitcoin mining become more centralized now because everyone had to buy new machines?
Or they had got to put in new technology to save on electricity. Yeah, it's tough. It's really
what
tough.
about the old machines? Can they be used for other blockchains? Technical guys,
yeah.
like they'll use them for other chains, won't they? They just won't dump them.
Yeah.
So will that strengthen the hash power of those other chains like Litecoin or other proof of work chains?
They're going to use them to hijack, to pirate other exchanges and double spend them. And
so that could be used now to
small SHA-256 coins chains, because of all the ASIC application for specific integrated circuitry, just for the new people, whatever. all those coins are going to get hijacked right now because all that mining power in China is itching a hole in their pocket. So they're looking right now through Coin Wars, .com, and they're looking for a chain that they can hijack with the power that they have, the extra power they have. So right now, you're going to see a bunch of pirated chains showing up. Speaking of pirates, we have Peter Mickelson, the
Danish pirate,
on the line. Speaking of pirates.
What's up, Peter? What's up,
How's
Adam?
it going, guys?
How's it going? Where are you right now?
I'm in Copenhagen.
Wow. How are all those pirates doing over there?
Well, business has been declining the last 1,000 years. Along with our foreign policy, it used to be.
Along with Christianity. Christianity really killed the Danes.
Oh, yeah, it's made a big difference.
We're the last of the polytheists.
Where we couldn't kill anymore, things went bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except for on the Isle of Man, where they survived a little longer.
On the Isle of Man?
Yeah. You don't know that about your people, dude?
No, I don't.
Are you crazy?
Maybe.
They survived the longest on the Isle of Man.
Nice. That's why we got a little bastion of freedom there, maybe.
Like right now, like they shut down, like a lot of them.
Yeah, they pulled the plug. A lot of people pulled the plug because they did the math and they're not making any money, and they're not here because of the philosophy like we are. They're not here to lose money.
They're not here to lose money?
No, they're turning off their machines, or they're out looking for a chain that they can hide.
No, they're on dynamic mining pools, so they switch to the most profitable one automatically.
Yeah. So what about you have these ASIC machines, these SHA-256 machines that these guys are looking for? Like Mazda's probably going to get hacked soon.
Yeah, the SHA-256 coins. That's right.
Yeah, they're fucking targets right now, big time.
Oh man,
dump all SHA-256 coins right now because some Chinese pirates are fucking looking for the right SHA-256 coin to just smash the shit out of it in some exchange and pump up its price and fucking sell fake coin on the exchange between the blocks and then pull the fucking Bitcoin out.
Is Litecoin a SHA-56?
No, it's script.
No, it's script.
You're right. They're going to dump the old coin for the Bitcoin on the exchanges. You're right.
I'm saying they're going to move their mining equipment on some SHA-256 coins.
Sure.
And then they're going to screw around with the exchanges and pull the money out. The exchanges that don't have that well KYC. How's my head?
So
I use the electric razor on one side only. It's coming
how
along.
would you play that if you were to play the game of seeing how these hash power wars were going to change? How would you navigate that?
I would wait. I would switch I'd switch my whole mining farm to one, and completely change the dynamics of its earnings and shut down and flip it back on, just mess with the difficulty retargeting on all these different coins. You could really just depending it. I mean, there's a million different ways to do it. It's just I don't know. I'm not in the same camp.
They're just gonna make a block with an extra 100 million coins in it.
Could you dial back the chain?
Well, right at the place where it is, they're gonna make a block, and everyone's gonna and that block is gonna be the one that the miners are gonna follow, and that's it. And then for a few blocks, until they realize what happened, they're gonna be spending that money on the exchanges, selling that shit like fire, like it's on fire.
So
you got pirate things and his ancient genome from the what are they called again? The Viking genome kind of came out. Look at him. Look, he's transmutating. Look, you see his forehead? He transmutated. Look at that. Look at that. He transmutated into a pirate 1,200 years ago. Motherfucker.
Peter's getting
Yeah,
ideas.
better or worse?
That's good.
I don't know. For who? Probably good for him. The guy transmutated. You saw his brow popped out? What?
Yo, so
Yes, it was on camera. It was on camera. You can watch the replay. You can watch the
5G or not, 5G waves or not, the fucking genome transmutated on that guy in a few moments. He turned back into his pirate genome came out. He's like, oh, all extra hash power floating around, looking, right? It's like some of your ships looking for ships to go smash or forts to take over.
How about blockbusters.com? You surrender your hash power and then you attack small chains. I think we need to do that.
That's a good mining pool.
Blockbuster. We go buy Blockbuster.
They went out of business a long time ago.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The domain's there. Yo, Blockbuster.
Steve, you built a bunch of mining pools. Can you build that one for us?
Sure. I was just thinking about that.
Pirate mining pool.
Yeah, I mean,
But
I think we need another pirate in here. Hang on, let me get Yannick on the call.
Go down within like a
you're
half
not going to
hour.
find a lot of small guys with the equipment to be able to team up.
Oh yeah,
The small guys are more in tune.
Obvious.
I got a whole closet that has threes.
And you put the vine down and what is that?
Who is that? You're gonna get muted.
So when's the next fucking block?
In 4 years, we're going to be wearing spacesuits.
Who is that?
Coronavirus.
Nick, is that you getting the call?
That's
Who's getting
not me, no.
Do you think hashing power is going to go into more like projects to like get cures for cancer and vaccines, coronavirus, stuff like that?
I don't want to talk about that right now. Some people are building something.
You don't want to bring people into the fold?
Johnny, what's your dog doing? Do you still have it?
All that.
Dude, he's right here.
On the news and on
I
the,
remember it fell in the pool.
on the rumor and on the, all that bullshit. That's all bullshit.
Hey, yeah.
Well, the 374 Bitcoin was traded transaction.
I got a question for you. What else can you use a SHA-256 miner for?
Just going fucking coin wars.
No, Nick.
Denial of service attacks.
No. You can use it. You can use it as a heater.
How about a microwave?
Use it as a heater.
So a lot of people, like a lot of low end miners, basically turned off their miner at the block.
Yeah, a
just
lot of people turned it off. They're on coin wars. Look at get coin wars up.
So the next block's like in 2 years.
4 years.
Nice.
They're having 210,000 blocks.
No, I'm saying the next
recalculation. Right now, there's going to be a lot of people are going to turn the machines off, right? Yeah. So the next block is going to be a long time. It's not going to be a regular amount of time.
That's what I'm saying.
The recalculation every 2016 blocks.
Yeah, you're right.
How much hash?
Yeah, because the last one was in July. The last one was in July 4 years ago.
Nick, this is what I'm saying. I'm saying, how long until the next block? 3 days? A day? everybody flipped it off. Like,
wait, he's doing the calculation right now. Nick's doing the calculation right now. Hold on.
Right, I'm trying to figure it out. No, we got to see how much. I'm trying to.
The hashing power dropped.
I'm not in the office. I'm in my fucking house.
I have a question though, as a user.
Yeah.
What about the transaction fees? How's this going to affect the transaction fees just in the short term?
Probably make them go up.
Yeah,
make them go up.
Sure.
It's written about in the Bitcoin white paper, basically that, in place of the block rewards, people are going to have to pay transaction fees to get out of the mem pool, because miners are just going to deny free transaction. It used to be you didn't have to really send anything.
Hey, Adam, could you move your mic a little bit closer to you?
Yeah, it used to be you could basically set a block for like nothing. Like you could send a transaction, right? And then as block rewards have, the transaction fees make up a significant component of the reward. And the having a reward itself is obviously going down. So the idea is that one day voluntarily people will obviously put more money in accordance with their transaction to ensure that they get out of the mempool and that their transactions get verified, right? So there's some interesting components in the blockchain or Bitcoin blockchain where they're talking, and Daniel was talking about it the other night.
These guys are used
like transaction pooling, like where you pool the transactions all together. That I think that's a feature that they've been working on and should come out with soon, to kind of bring the cost down in general of all these transactions and allow for it. But.
So just for like layman's term, so moving forward, all transaction fees will be going up.
Yeah, till a certain point.
With less miners, they're going to go up significantly.
Listen, the miners are used to making X amount of money.
Yeah.
Right? So if they hold out on putting, like right now, they might embargo and just put, but they won't, because it's in their financial benefit to put as many transactions in as possible so they can get those transaction fees. So, Satoshi figured that out. So if they held out and said, all right, we want the mempool to fill up, so we're only going to accept transactions. So these big mining pools could say, hey, if someone doesn't have a higher fee of whatever Satoshis per byte, then they're not going to accept it. And if they're banging out all the things, they can create a trend, but their short-term greed is going to keep them from doing that. So whoever the biggest miner can say, I need double, you better put double fees in. I'm not putting you through the block.
So fees are going up.
Yeah, they're going to force the fees up in different ways.
And now with less miners just now, because they all dumped because their miners are no longer profitable, that means they're going to go up a lot more the next few days or few weeks.
So listen, this is all, can I get into this, Nick? This is all Nash equilibrium, right? So you have different interests representing different competing interests represented on each different component, right? So you have somebody that wants to put a transaction through and they'll pay X amount to do so. Then you have the miners that won't flip on the machines unless they're incentivized to meet their electric costs. And there's like, there's all these different components that are at play. Essentially an equilibrium is met, right? Where you might see a spike and a drop and a spike and a drop, but eventually it'll all settle out into like what's, somewhat stable per block fee, like what's the average. But there's other components that are being added to Bitcoin Core. So you got to remember that the blockchain is continuously, not the blockchain, but the core software that's running Bitcoin is ongoing and getting updates. And then people elect to participate. Their miners elect to participate. This is like SegWit 2x. These are all these different forks that you saw. Is like people, am I going to continue on? Am I going to support this or am I not? Right. And some of the features that they're going to be coming out with, like transaction pooling, right?
I was waiting for it. The Korobitis.
Scarface.
What up? Yeah, this.
Is that Nick?
They're cookies. They're cookies. They're little Greek cookies. Korobitis.
Who made that?
I made me.
You made it?
Yeah.
So Adam, could you
last halving, where were you? You were like hiding under the desk, right?
Me?
I don't remember.
Let Adam finish. Adam, go ahead. Go ahead.
Listen, it's a little bit complicated, but it's also very easy. Basically, listen, markets reach an equilibrium. They reach a point where there's somewhat some kind of stability point, right? If you've ever taken economics, that, markets might spike due to some kind of externality, or they might go down based on the tulip craze, everybody talks about that in Bitcoin. Like there was a lot of information that said tulips weren't going to be around anymore. There's all these issues and the price goes to the moon. but then it readjusts. A lot of people who speculated, they got screwed or they made a lot of money. It just depends, right? But eventually what ends up happening is the information must disseminate. What's the word I'm looking for? The inefficiency is discovered, and this is like arbitrage and everything else. If you see a difference, everything eventually is going to equal out because there's a lot of different competing interests that are incentivized to do so. So the miners are going to have to switch it back on. It's going to have to be worth it for them, right? There is a large network. There are a lot of transactions. And if I got to pay Nick, $100 in Bitcoin, I owe him $100, and he needs the money right now, I might add an extra $5 on there because it's, shit, I got to get it to him or whatever. Like I'll put in
So does it mean that there's a new price discovery mechanism? The price discovery mechanism is happening now.
Yeah.
Are you talking about the fees or the price discovery on the coin?
No. He said I'm talking about the fees, right? The price discovery, the equilibrium is going to get met. It probably take a little minute for everything to readjust and get set up. The supply dynamics and the price of Bitcoin are a completely different thing from the actual transaction fee. So what I'm saying is it will probably, teeter-totter, super high, super low as people have to get it. But eventually what's going to happen is you're going to have a point where it makes sense for the miners to both be online. We might deal with a new price and transaction. I don't know what that looks like. It might be, correlated to the halving itself. It could not be. It could be 25% more. It could be 1% more. It could be double. Like it just depends. But it will. I mean, there's projections and there's models. I used to do this. I used to mine a lot, so you can try and figure out kind of like what you're going to make and how it's going to affect you. And some people are more accurate than others. But the point, the general point being is, yes, it'll probably lead to some kind of increase in transaction price by the part of the participants of the network. And then I think what will happen as they start getting into pooling transactions, and I forget the exact term because it's been a while since I looked at the core code. But if you look under the GitHub, all the comments for the Bitcoin Core, they are currently working on, and I'd have to have Daniel speak to this. What's Daniel's last name, Nick? Daniel, New York City Bike, Daniel.
Oh, I know the Daniel you're talking about.
Yeah. Daniel was talking about this on one of his seminars. I can't remember when, but he was discussing essentially, this initiative that's going to come through with transaction pooling, which is going to help, bring the price down of the overall transaction fees per user. So what I think is going to happen is, as a traditional user of Bitcoin, people will probably actually be more incentivized to use things like Lightning, things like that. But you will see the price go up in the transaction fee. But then what you'll see over time is that as these new features are more accepted and everything like that, you will see kind of the easy use and the price per transaction go down, because everybody's like, oh, it costs so much to use Bitcoin. I mean, these are just very simple problems that can be edited because there are creative solutions to them. And it's just like, what's the most acceptable one? Because Bitcoin's not going to be, super expensive to transact. There's a lot of people working on these problems. And I mean,
it's cool. I appreciate it, Adam. So for the people out there watching, how I understood, it's basically the price is going to be not really stable right now, like you said, teeter-tottering, but the price discovery will come. So in the short term, we're going to have this instability in fees, but it'll be solved and discovered here soon.
That's what I would guess. I mean, it could do anything, but if I had to put my money on it, if you were going to ask, Adam, what's going to happen? There's no way the transaction fees aren't going to go up. If the hash rate has dropped, has anybody have a hash rate?
It didn't drop. It's going up.
Really? No way. Yeah, so it might go down. Who knows? But I mean, if I
all day, I just listen. You can go into a Bitcoin deal there.
Well, maybe people are not going to pay the electricity.
Hold on.
Maybe they're not going to pay the electricity bill now. They're just going to max it out. They're going to fucking file bankruptcy
For the last month?
Oh, maybe they're trying to. Maybe there's like a guy outside of Russia with a big farm, and like he's getting electric power from like a Putin Soviet era electric.
Yeah, there you go. That's
and he's trying to drown out the market and take control by making everybody go broke, Nick.
That's the
So
free.
he like fired
right?
it up, right?
I'm not sure if it's up to date. I'm looking on blockchain.
Oh, 2 people dropped off, so you could get 2 more people in here. Actually,
Yeah.
Where'd they go? What about Peter? Well, we could just look at his face.
Yeah, Peter.
yeah, he has a beautiful face.
Yeah, you need that.
Talk, Peter.
What do you want to know?
I need your wealth of knowledge. I need to
Oh
understand.
wow, then we're
Peter-
really fucked.
Yeah, he has no leg.
Peter, is Denmark the same way like Sweden? Anything goes, no corona, lockdown, nothing?
No, we did like a partial solution. We're opening up now, and like Sweden just like they just ride it right through. And Denmark, we locked everything down for a little bit. Now everything is opening, and we'll see what happens.
Gotcha.
We just got to check how many, how long the next block is going to be, how many unconfirmed transactions are getting built up in the mempool. And I mean, the price of Bitcoin is probably going to go up over a little while because everything has to settle. Nothing's settled. You got all those guys down on Wall Street bullshitting everybody, and they sell on the news, or they sell on the event, and they buy it before and all that shit.
I really want to. I want all these companies that are selling Bitcoin to provide like an audited report of how much they actually have on hand versus how much they sell. Their fractional reserve. I think Coinbase and other companies, what they did was, remember when Cody Wilson was working on the Dark Wallet project, Nick?
Yeah.
I think what they did for security purposes, and I've told you this before, is I think they probably found this new technology where you could, split it into a million different wallets and, randomize everything. And what they did was they left them in those wallets, and then the dust limit rised above the cost of the wallets. So they are sitting on all this immovable Bitcoin, claiming that they have it. And because there's a huge amount of wallets in the dust limit. There was a guy down here that did a graph on it, and it showed that like all these wallets right around the time of the founding were kind of sitting in there. Anyways.
What? You mean these exchanges are just using old wallets, public keys?
No, they're claiming that they have money, and they might technically have it, but can they move it is another question. Do you have the capability to move? Does it cost more to move?
They have a private key. Oh, you're talking about the dust?
Yeah, they have a bunch of dust wallets that like sit around, I think. And because you can look at a chart, there's a dust chart, right?
You got to cut a deal with a mining pool.
Yeah, but I don't think I listen, if you cut a deal with a mining pool, they're gonna rob you. Like you're not gonna be able to do anything about it. What are you gonna do? It's one way. I mean, it's proof of keys exercise right now. No. Who the hell is this guy? What is this? How do
you know this has share screen?
What are you looking at right now? Bitcoin difficulty estimator? Who pulled that up? Where are we at?
No, I'm just I'm looking at this the difficulty in in Bitcoin D, whatever.
How many? What is it? Petahash now? Nick, are we in petahash? Like what is it?
It's a lot.
The world's fastest supercomputer, or number 3 or 4. What is it?
I'm talking about like an individual miner is at over a petahash, right? Like an individual.
No, individual mining. Oh, you mean mining company or mining?
No. I'm talking about when I was in it. It was like 365 gigahash for like an S3, right? Per second. Right. And you could overclock it, get it up to like 410. And you could have like some crazy, you could super cool the ASICs.
And try to get more. But I'm talking about right now.
Yeah, I'm saying what is an individual miner's performance for hash rate right now?
We have something like 40 terahash, 40-something terahash, 48 terahash, I think.
You can buy right now 40 terahash. Like
one came out, they're all broken.
Yeah. So what I think these
it wasn't like hash fast or whatever the fuck where they mailed out all those dead machines back then.
So what I started to speculate what they did was they'd take all these order money, they'd have you prepay, they'd manufacture all the chips, right, and all the miners. they would run them for like 2 months, clean them up, and then mail them to the U.S. So you got like the older version. That's what I think they were doing.
Well, yeah, they bench test them.
Yeah, exactly.
They're bench testing them.
Yeah, they're bench testing all of your miners for 2 months, and then they release them to the commercial market or the private market. They sell it off. But China is running all these miners and all these mining companies. You can't. It's very difficult for an individual to compete. I mean,
yeah, you got to make your own machine.
Yeah,
like
right.
Fury.
Yeah,
he made his own machine in the beginning.
Who?
Fury guys.
Yeah, well, I mean,
machine before.
I mean, I remember
machine, and it was I don't remember how many nanometer were the wire. I think I don't remember what the wire their first machine was, but now
I think it's down to like 11. It's past the theoretical limit of what should be allowed. I mean, like the circuit should jump, right? But they're still able to
jump between, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, we're getting complicated here, but the mining technology is absurd. I mean, the ASICs. I mean, the other thing to consider is like who's manufacturing all these chips. I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of variables. Mining's very complicated. Listen, anybody who thinks that they're going to go online and buy cloud mining shit and compete,
fake. It's all fake.
You're crazy. That's all I'm going to say right now.
Fake.
Oh, I'm going to do cloud mining and get everybody. No, don't do that. So horrible.
Didn't we talk about this? No, Nick, you put on Instagram.
Yeah, some guy put my name up and saying that I was selling cloud mining. I hate cloud mining. That's the worst shit. It's just asking, even if the guy had good intentions, not the guy that was impersonating me did not have good intentions. But if someone had good intentions and trying to do cloud mining, it ends up probably becoming a Ponzi.
Well, you get a hash rate.
Well, think about it now. Now that the reward is so small, these companies, these fly-by-night companies, I mean, they can't even mine anymore.
Well, there used to be a time where you could buy a miner and fire it in your closet.
Yeah.
And that time is gone.
Yeah.
That time is gone. Unless you have a solar panel attached to your roof and you can get X amount of watts. But even then, you might as well use it for electricity. You'll save more money that way.
Solar for mining is ridiculous.
So basically, in 12 years,
hydro or windmill probably, but hydro.
So in 12 years of Bitcoin history, pretty much this halving threw out a lot of the people for a lot of the miners in only 12 years.
Listen, Nick, I thought wind power was the least effective.
Listen, Nick, Energy Ledger, I wrote a paper back in 2009, 2010, before I really knew what Bitcoin was. It was called distributed microgrids, right? So this is something that Energy Ledger really needs to do, is you need to create a marketplace redeemable for individual, watts, right? Oh my gosh, Sammer's on here. Sammer, tell him about cloud mining. Oh my goodness, I see that. That's great. Anyways, the cloud mining guy. Anyways, if you could somehow trade in peak hours versus off hours, so like if you have a place that has an extreme surplus, mining is really complicated. But if you could have some place where it would make sense at from midnight to 6 a.m. and off peak hours, where you could get the price of per kilowatt hour down to like a penny or a couple pennies, or you could store it in a battery, right? Like one of those Tesla power walls. If you could buy it then and store it into a battery and then run it, you could probably do it at home, but I don't think anybody's that crafty, and I don't really have the space to do it right now, or else I'd be doing it. I think we can figure it out. But what needs to happen is, renewable energy and RECs are kind of crap. But like if you could figure out, a way to actually make them redeemable for individual units of electricity. Like I know there's a couple projects out there that were trying to accomplish it, but it's very difficult to accomplish. And for individuals, I think that if you could create it so that everything everybody's claiming is verified on the blockchain, you'd have a lot different things. I mean, a lot of these companies are taking investments from, individuals that want to get in the mining game. They're selling these miners, they're using them for 3 months, and then they're selling them to the open market. So that we're 3 months behind what the most current technology is in China, and they're using it for bench testing or whatever, like Nick said, and then they're kind of shipping it over to us. What we need to do,
companies like Bitmain.
yeah, there's 2 ways to outcompete them. We could have cheaper electricity. It's basically about electricity cost per hash, right? It's really what it comes down to, and trying to project, kind of what the difficulty retarget is. At the end of the day, if you really don't know what you're doing and you're trying to get into mining, it's
you got to have a hash rate per kilowatt.
Yeah,
your hash rate per kilowatt. If you have an old piece of shit machine,
I used to say,
you pay for the electricity. You're burning it.
I mean, I used to buy them from China, and then I would sell them again to somebody else on like eBay for full price of what I bought for, and I'd run them in the meantime. So I figured out a little way to make money. So I had time mining too, but they'd get old really quick. And then there'd be somebody that was trying to get into the game probably that wanted to buy it or had a better electric rate, and then they could buy it and run it. But I mean, it's very hard to compete with mass scale mining, just like it is like these exchanges.
People are turning their machines off.
Yeah,
I see it.
Yeah.
So, it's not enough here to show what the next difficulty is going to be calculated at, but at this rate, because it's a exponential decay rate here, just like an exponential growth. It's exponential, but it's not in the it's percentage points off. It's points off of a percentage. It's a small amount, yet it's chugging along. So as people don't see the results, what some people maybe thought it was tomorrow, or whatever's going to happen, it looks like they're going to be turning. We'll see what the machines when they turn off. If a large enough number turn off, I remember back in
every 2016 blocks, right, is the difficulty
retarded. It was a recalculation every 2 weeks, every 2000.
So when was the last?
Like 7 days ago.
So how much more do we have?
Probably 7 days. Probably.
No, it's gonna be like double.
My next Monday in the morning. Hold on.
It's gonna be like double because the hash rate's gonna kill, and then it's gonna take 20 to 30 minutes per block. While the
it would be like forget it. I mean, that's I got caught up in thinking.
No, yeah, you're thinking all given no variables, like 7 days or whatever.
Back in 2014, all these miners were turning off their machines. I even got a couple phone calls from some big miners asking me if I wanted to buy the machines. And I was like, holy shit. And then I was looking at the hash rate and it dropped. I'm like, holy shit, the next block is going to take 2,000 years.
There can only be one. Your question, when some miners turn off, will there be a threat of any one miner or one mining pool to assume a major amount? Yeah, there's a super huge risk. You have to watch the pool dominance charts. Somebody might get
7:45 a.m. to about 11:30 a.m. next Monday is the recalculation is going to take effect.
If there was ever a risk for a 51% attack on Bitcoin, it's now, right, Nick?
Well, I don't want to say that.
Yo, but I'm just saying, given it's not going to happen.
We just got the next block just came in.
How long?
Yeah, so it was okay.
20?
People are not turning off their machines in 1 second.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, when there's events.
Listen, I love this site. It's been around for many years.
Mm-hmm.
It even gives you music, little tones.
Fiat leak.
Transaction, and then when the block shows up, it shows you the block.
Yeah, so well, Nick's probably not going to comment on it, but if there was ever, listen, it's very unlikely. Okay. However, if there was ever a time for what we would call 51% attack, it would be during one of these halvings in Bitcoin's case.
But then what?
Yeah, exactly.
Someone fucking 51% it, you know.
I'm Nick. I'm
just saying that it wouldn't make any sense.
Listen, I'm gonna tell it how it is. You know, look, there's a lot of people out there that are full of shit. It's not gonna happen with Bitcoin. Okay. Everybody else who says, you know, my coins, blah, blah, blah. Listen, Bitcoin's king. Everybody else needs to pay homage is just the reality. I'm just saying it's more likely now than say like a couple days ago that it could happen. It doesn't mean it will. I'm just saying, yes, there is some type of risk. It's very minuscule, very, very low. But given that a lot of people
there's a high risk, very, very high risk that there's going to be 51% attacks on if you go on Coin Wars, you look at the SHA-256 coins.
Yes.
A bunch of Chinese pirates. I don't know, is that political? There's a bunch of Chinese pirates out there with a bunch of machines that they're not going to turn on because they might be paying. They haven't bribed enough people to get free electric, so they might be paying for electric. So they're going to take those machines and they're going to jump on someone else's coin and rock the shit out of it.
Yeah.
How about that one? That's my prediction. And it might happen like they might already figured it out. I'm on Coin Wars. Can I look for SHA-256 coins only?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, let's just think about different.
They were classified in the old days. Now it's not.
Well, I mean, you got like Namecoin.
I'm just saying that there should be a sorting mechanism here.
There's a lot of coins that are in significant danger.
Yeah, I would my pants right now
because
if I had a SHA-256 coin, I'd be shitting my pants.
Listen, so you
fucking bandwidth out there.
Listen, here's the problem. You had to spend a lot of money if you're trying to 51% attack something. Okay.
Yeah, but if the thing is small,
let me talk.
If the hash rate sucks,
Nick, if you're trying to 51% attack something, you have to burn all that electricity, millions and millions and millions of dollars, and then you get Bitcoin or whatever, right? And the thing is, if you destroy the credibility of it, then you lose all your money anyways. So you go broke trying to do it. It's a very difficult proposition.
No. Here's the hit and run. Okay, you want to hear the hit and run?
No.
You don't want to hear it?
Yeah.
So it's very simple.
Yeah.
They got these dog shit machines. They're paying X amount of money for, and they're not going to bring them. It's going to bring half the money. When they were just making ends meet, when they gave them 12.5 Bitcoin, right, plus the transaction fees. Now it's going to give them 6.25 Bitcoin plus the transaction fees. So what's going to happen now is someone is going to find a nice juicy SHA-256 chain out there, and they're going to plow the shit out of it, and they're going to make a fake transaction reward in the block, and they're going to say free, million blocks, or 1 million coins, or 10 million coins on this fucking ABC shit coin. And they're going to get 1 million coins. They're going to go onto an exchange that has volume, and they're going to dump the 1 million coins in the next 15, 20 minutes before the community finds out about it, starts emailing these exchanges to try to freeze the trades of that one coin. So in the next hour, someone could maybe do that, or they might do it tomorrow, or they might, after hearing this podcast, do it. I'm not doing it.
I'm not going to do it either, but I got you. Okay, we're going to do SHA-256. You can't find the coins, Nick. You can't sort by algorithm.
Not in the...
If anybody
Coin Wars, not in Coin Wars.
Listen, it's...
I'm just looking at this one site here.
Yeah, I'm looking. I see it. I see them. They're categorized. Hashing algorithm.
I'm going to look at the
coin algorithm, sort descending. Okay, so here's a susceptible list of candidates.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, yeah.
Cannabis coin. Dash. Wait,
Dash.
wait. No, I'm reading it wrong.
Yeah, you gotta find.
I'm not doing it by hashing algorithm.
How many results does it give? This thing's stupid.
Hold on, I'm trying to see SHA. Where does it say SHA? Oh, okay, X11. I'm sorry, these are not. Okay, I got it.
Yeah.
Litecoin Cash, SHA 256. Bitcoin Cash, SHA 256. Namecoin. There's a whole bunch of them. Syscoin, whatever that is. Some of these coins are.
Yeah, they're targets.
Yeah, there's a whole list. You can probably sort them. Coin Wars isn't the best for this, I don't think. I think there's
Peercoin. Peercoin has 48 petahash. Litecoin Cash.
Yeah.
4.32 petahash. Shit. We can do that.
Oh my gosh. Litecoin Cash could get
Where does that trade? Does it trade? Does it have to trade?
I don't know. But its hash rate is very low.
Sort by hash rate.
It's 4.32 petahash on the entire network.
Sort
on the entire network.
Hash rate. Can we sort by hash rate in there? Network
hash rate, yeah.
Sort by ascending hash rate.
There's got to be a better one. Coin Wars used to be good, but it doesn't look that good anymore.
Yeah, it's all fucked up, stupid. Does it have an API?